Today we're going to be doing indoor survey mapping using our iPhone 15 Pro. So I'm going to launch the .3D app, start collecting data. So you can see the first April tag shows up and it actually lights up, indicating that it's identified this first April tag. So that's very good. Now I want to map the inside of this condo with survey grade accuracy and projecting everything into state plane coordinates. But I want to create a point cloud using SLAM, which is why I want to use my iPhone to collect the data. Now, since we are inside, I can turn on my camera's flashlight. So this will help us with illumination, kind of give more light to the scene. And because I care a lot about the accuracy of my data set, I've set up a whole bunch of April targets all around the condo to ensure that I can tie all of my scans together. But here we have an April target, and I'm just going to start mapping out this part of the condo. Okay, we've successfully picked this wall. Now, not only are these April targets going to help us tie all the scans together, I actually used a surveying total station to survey all of these targets by traversing inside of the condo and carrying our state plane coordinates indoors. And so if you're interested, I've put together an entire video over at thesurveyschool.com where I go over the intricate details of traversing inside of the condo using our surveying total station. So if that's something you're interested in watching, enroll in the Survey School today and check out how we established the survey control using a surveying total station. And coming in around this fireplace, you can see we've taken 260 images, you can say, but you can tap on the screen if you feel like, hey, there's some more details that I want to capture. Even though it's automatically capturing imagery, sometimes, hey, you see that there's some spots that need some additional attention. Just by tapping on the screen, see I made it 270, 271. You can do that yourself as well. I'm gonna go here and go into our balcony. So this balcony here, we've got an April target in here. Okay, so now let's do the master bedroom. The nice thing about .3D is I can capture a decent amount of data. I think I could probably get the entire condo all in one go. So it's not like it's a multi-part, I have to record in multiple sections because that's all that the app can handle. No, this app can actually handle some intense levels of mapping. So I'm gonna walk through to the balcony just to get a different perspective of the balcony. So it'll tell the system, oh yeah, tie everything in like this. You can see how in the visualization it's off. Once we optimize the data, it will not be off. It'll be right on actually. So, and through this hallway, we're gonna capture, I think we have an April target right here. Here we go. This looks nice. And we're in the bathroom. We got another April target in here. The second bedroom, got a bunch of April targets. See beneath us is the stairwell that we took to get in through the foyer. And we are now in the kitchen. We have an April target right there. We've got our RCN cup. Shout out to RCN. Let's go into the laundry room. Having the flashlight on my phone is nice because it'll help us see things a little bit more clearly. Here is another April target. So let's head down here. Let's head over to the garage. We got a wall here, we got a wall here. Got another April target. We've got an April target on this side of the garage. Try to capture the facade of the building. We've got another April target here. There's the front of the condo. So I can come back and I'm gonna tie back into these April targets. So here's April target 1, and in here I've got April target 2. I'm just gonna record a little bit in here, why not? And then April target 3. So we'll identify all of those. That'll help us close out the project so that we have a nice clean finish. Okay, and now that I'm all set, I'm gonna just tap the little square on the bottom, and that's gonna end our mapping project. And you can take a look here. This is our unoptimized scan, and my God, you can see the entire place. I mean, all the rooms, all of the layout. I mean, you have an entire floor plan here. Let me see if I can cut the top off. And you can look at this in different views. I mean, look at that. You can see everything here. You can see the garage. You can see the front entrance. There's the giant tree. That's the bathroom, the kitchen. Oh man, it's kind of surreal because I used to live here, so that's so cool. Now, when it comes to optimizing the project, you can do everything on your phone. You can bring in the control points, optimize everything but I like to do it on the PC just because it's a little bit easier to work with. So I'm going to export this data and I'm going to bring it into the .3D PC version, and we're going to process and take a look at everything that we just collected.
And welcome to my office. Currently rebuilding my office, so it's a little messy, but hopefully we can get by for this video. Let's get into .3D and see the data that we collected in the condo. I've loaded up the condo and my goodness, you can see everything here. Now you'll notice it says model preview optimized to create final model. And that's where we're going to use the control points and all of the April tags that we shot in with the total station in order to optimize this data set. So it already identified that there are 35 targets. So there are all the targets that are identified. And so each one of these targets needs coordinates. So I'm going to go ahead and import the coordinates that we got from the total station. And there we go. We've got 35 control targets. I'm going to say import, and we've imported all of the targets. Now you might notice over here where it says 28 and 27, we've got a slight drift here in the data, and that's expected because there might have been issues with the trajectories, and having that control file is going to help us correct those errors so that everything matches up correctly. So I'm going to click on optimize, and then I'll select optimize scene.
A few minutes later.
And after a while, your scene will be optimized, and here are the results. We have a completely georeferenced data set to our control points, and man, everything looks spectacular. Check out the stairwell. This was a complete mess before, and now it's actually fit in perfectly. You can see the bedroom, the foyer, the entrance, the closet, the living room, the kitchen, the whole floor plan here. And if we look from above, we can see a very unique perspective of the condo. Very hard to visualize because it's upstairs and parts of it are downstairs. But when you look at it like this, I can see so much detail, and then everything is georeferenced to the outside because we use geodetic coordinates, and we traversed all of those coordinates inside, so everything fits in perfectly. So you can see outside here, the garage, here's the facade of the building, and even outside here in the balcony, everything is matching and fitting in pretty nicely. And if we look at the error, our RMS error is 0.01 feet, and the largest error is 0.02 feet. So no more than 2/100ths of a foot in discrepancy, which means that our traverse was really good, which we saw that while we were traversing, all the errors were really, really small. Everything is matching the coordinates that we put in, which means the distances make sense. And this is just a good gut check. You know, this is a good feeling as a surveyor when I see my RMS is low, that my data is coming in accurately. So this is very nice. Now let's say you didn't have survey control like we did, but you had April targets and you measured distances using a tape measure. You can identify a new reference distance constraint. So right here, I've selected my distance constraint, and let's say I measured, I don't know, between 0.10 and 8. I can then input what the actual distance is. Let's say it's actually 13 feet, and then I would say create. And then it would identify this constraint for me. And you can go throughout the entire site and do this before you optimize the project. I left a link in the description for this guide from MediaTask showing you great tips and tricks for accurate indoor scanning, even without survey control. Now inside of .3D, you have a couple of options of different annotation and measurement tools. So I want to quickly show you those. You can start out by clicking edit and actually cropping parts of the project. So let's assume, I don't know, I want to focus on the garage, right? The garage is important to me, everything else isn't. Okay, here we go. So here's the garage. I'm going to just crop this little section here. I'll say select, and it'll select this area. And actually what you can do is select the area that you want and then invert the selection, right? And then hit apply, and then it'll crop everything out. So now I can just focus on the garage. I can get rid of all the other data I didn't need. So this looks good. Now I can, I don't know, do whatever work I need to inside here. And if let's say I finish my work in the garage, I want to bring everything else back, I'll just click edit, crop, and reset and bring back all of the points. So if you hide the points, you can bring them back, but if you crop them, then you do delete them. Now in the measure tab, I can take distances of different objects. So for example, let's say I want to measure up this room real quick, say add measurement, and I can click and hold here to get as precise as possible. So I want to get right there. Okay, we've got 1 point. And then let's say I want to measure this wall right here. Press and hold. And there's the next point. And there we go. We have our measurement. It is 10.70 feet. We can add another measurement. Measure again from here. Let's say I want to measure the other side right here. Okay, and we got 14.59 feet. Now this really shines in areas where it's actually impossible to measure because there are walls or different levels, different floors. So we can actually measure from multiple rooms through walls using this technique. So for example, I want to measure the entire length of the condo from the tip of the garage, which would be somewhere in here, all the way till this wall of the bedroom. And there we go. Now we have a measurement of 83.29 feet. So that's how long the entire condo is, which would have been very, very difficult to measure in a standard conventional way. They also have an annotation option. So you could annotate different parts of the site. So let's say I want to annotate, I don't know, the rooms. So we'll start here. We could say a new annotation, and then I can press and hold if I want to pick a specific location. Let's actually do it, I don't know, in the center of the foyer. And I can add a photo. So if I took a photo of the foyer, I can add it here, and then whoever is going through the model can click on those annotations and see the photos. Or if I don't have any photos, I can just add a point and enter in a description here. I can add a web link if I want to, additional details, or even a position that long. Now you also have the option to export this data as an LAZ point cloud and bring it into softwares like Pix4D Survey and combine it with drone data, which is exactly what I'll be doing, and this is how it looks. Now while this is loading, you may have actually seen .3D in an app that Carlson uses called Scan3D. The survey workflow for Scan3D actually incorporates the technology used in .3D, and they have got a partnership together. And so I only mention this because we've worked with Carlson in the past on the channel, and they're a valued sponsor for the channel. And a lot of these companies work together to help build solutions for surveyors. So it's good for you to know that Carlson backs this technology. They use it for themselves for Scan3D, and you're able to use either their application or the original .3D when you're doing your work. So if we take a look, this is the point cloud of the condo using .3D. Now the walls are reintroduced, so it's harder to see the inside of the walls. But if I can peek into like one of these holes here, you can see here we are, we're in the living room. And over there's the kitchen, and we've exited now. But like, and here's the entrance, and there's the foyer. Pretty cool. It's nice to see the actual point cloud for the project. Now I'm going to turn that one off, and I'm going to turn on the point cloud for the drone. And this right here is the drone data. I've just flew over the condo and processed the data, and yeah, typical drone point cloud. I mean, pretty cool, pretty nice. We've seen this though before, but because we did the control using geodetic coordinates, we should be able to bring in both data sets and integrate them together because they're using a shared coordinate system. If I turn on that point cloud, there it is. You can see it fits in quite nicely. The best example I think is the garage. You can definitely see it with the garage, how it fits right in. And it's so cool to just see like how this fits in with the building. I mean, I've seen the outside of the building. Nobody actually can conceptualize the floor plan, but seeing it like this is just like a whole other perspective. I did notice that I needed to fly more of the building because you see the roof line ends right around here. But that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. And yeah, like that is the unit that is in the condo complex. And this is like really cool for surveyors that are trying to get into reality capture. I mean, you're bringing in indoor data and outdoor data and tying it all together and using like high accuracy control to ensure that your georeferencing is within like 1/10 of a foot, let's say. This might be even tighter than that. You know, it would be wise to take some shots out of the solution, out of those 35 control points, and then use them as checkpoints to see how well it is, you know, do some statistical analysis on that. But overall, like the workflow to bring in everything, to tie it in like this, I think is great. I love this. This is a really, really cool concept. And so thank you so much to Dot3D for sponsoring today's video and giving us an inside look. You guys should definitely check them out. I've left links in the description for Dot3D as well as the targets that I used. And if you're a survey member, definitely check out the behind the scenes of this video to see how I did the survey control. It's a really insightful video. I think you'll learn a lot about traversing and how it's done indoors. And with that, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.